Okay, this game is a real masterpiece. It just came out. It's just a one-level demo. Came out a couple of years ago by remz out of Canada. He currently has the game on pause as he helps out with Grind, which is the Doom-like game that's coming to the Amiga 500 soon. But this game is in ham mode. Hold and modify, which allows up to 4,096 colors on screen. If you believe it, if you look at this screen, this works on the Amiga 1000 from 1985, from 41 years ago. As you can see, it scrolls around at 50 frames per second with animations and colors galore. So, how is this all done? Did he break the laws of physics? Nope. Let's check it out. So, the big secret of this game is sprites, the hardware sprites. So, ham mode, hold and modify in OCS is ham 6. So it's 6-bit planes. So you'll see that it's 6-bit planes here, 0 to 5. If we take bit plane 5 off, see it starts to affect it. But the real secret of the game, as I said, was sprites. So watch this. If I take the sprites off, boom, everything's gone. So we'll do it one at a time. There's sprite 0. That is the main character. Now, the crazy thing is he's a 3-color sprite. You're like, are my eyes deceiving me? No. Watch this. He's able, with the copper, to change the color on the sprite. So before you get to him, he looks like that. And then he changes every line. So you got to go real slow with the copper block here. Maximum 3 colors per scan line. Keep going down slowly, slowly. So there's not going to be ever more than 3 colors on one scan line across. So according to remz on his English Amiga board post, he changes 12 colors per scan line on the sprites. That gives a theoretical limit of 2,880 colors for the sprites. But in this demo, the sprites are just using 265 colors, but it could go up to 2,880. Let me just put all the sprites back for a second and show you the guy that it's most easy to see. This guy down here. So if I do the copper block on him, you can see, if I go nice and slow, see it's got green, green, purple. So you can see all the colors on him. And again, he's only a 3-color sprite. So again, sprite 0 is just your player. And then sprite 1 is this side here. And this sprite goes all the way down the side. Now, this is done to stop some of the fringing when the screen is moving, because people have said before in ham games that it has too much fringing. So one of the effects of ham mode is fringing, which you can see like a little bit of, like maybe right here, just a few little errant pixels. But having a sprite all the way down the edge helps mask that. Okay, so the next sprite 2, is all those guys and the pots down there, the blobs and the pots. Again, 3 colors. And then sprite 3, these guys, the purple guy down here. Sprite 4, the key with animated flame. Again, 3 colors. Was the rat or the mouse? Yep, the mouse is that too. So they're all vertically multiplexed, right? Because the Amiga hardware allows you to reuse the sprites vertically. So you'll notice when they're moving, they don't move vertically. They only move horizontally. That is one of the limitations, because if they moved up and down, then they would change color. So he has worked it so that the main player can move up and down, but all the enemies at this point are going horizontally. Then sprite 5 gives another blob, and then some more, and some more. There's some really cool lighting effects in this game. So when you grab the torch, your player lights up. Looks like it does half of him, switching back and forth. And then when you move into a darker area, then it lights it up. And it uses a dithering technique where there's 30 different levels of darkening. The emulator is a little slower than normal hardware. That's why it was a bit slow when we were scrolling there. But believe me, it runs 50 frames per second really well when you're just playing it normally. Okay, I took the side sprite off, And just going to show you with the scrolling. If you put the blitter visualizer, nothing shows up, but when you do that, you can see it building on the side. So he explains that it is using the blitter, but it's doing a racing the beam kind of blit. So the sprites don't interfere with the bitmap. There's been some other ham games like Pioneer Plague. I think the way they dealt with fringing was by putting a black outline around a lot of the objects. There's also other games like Knights of the Crystallion and Ola Fight, but nothing looks better than this. I'm really looking forward to more work being done on it later. Okay, so I moved the debugger window and now I can see the full copper visualizer. And if you remember the video, last one on Kid Chaos, the copper list was dynamic, so it moved. So watch this. This is also the same. When you move down, the colors change with the copper list because remember, it has to change all the sprite colors as you're moving. And it also has to change the player's sprite color. So all these green ones are the colors. Each side is different. And then the white are the sprite positions, like this one, sprite 2 vertical horizontal start position data. And then you've got the gradients everywhere, and they're all changing in real time. So there has been an update about 2 years ago. remz, before we started working on Grind, put out this demo to show the Hamulet engine, but with huge ham bobs that animate. So watch this. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. Look at that. This works on an Amiga 1000, 4096 colors. It's got a copper parallax effect, and it's got all these huge animating bobs. The only downside is that you can't move them, vertically or horizontally, but that they do animate like this. So it is really amazing. And people are talking about different game concepts you could do with it. There's like JRPGs or rogue dungeon kind of games, with a big enemy that is just animated but is static or holds the keys to things. So there's a lot of great ideas that this engine could be used for, and sky's the limit with ham games. And the other thing that's been talked about is AGA ham. So that's ham 8. You get like 250,000 colors on screen at the same time. And then with AGA, you also have the 64 pixel wide sprites. So imagine the possibilities there. These are 16 pixel wide, and you can have 64 pixel wide. So it's just mind blowing to think about. So it's amazing to think about all the potential that is still in the Amiga and in ham mode, which sadly never got used too much except for title pictures and static stuff. But now remz has proven that a great action game can be done in it. I recommend you try this Hamulet demo. It is a very fun game. Despite all the tricks, it's a very enjoyable game. So I can't wait to see more, and I can't wait for Grind. And when remz has done that, then again, sky's the limit. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.